Yes! Here we go!
What's going on, Cowboy Nation and Angry Cowboy fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your boy, the Angry Cowboys Fan, and you are listening to the Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, the place to find my raw and uncut in podcast form. So if you're DC for life and you are as stumped about this offseason as I am, drop a like on the video, share this content, and please subscribe to the channel. But Angry Cowboys fans, I'm gonna have to go ahead and give y'all my raw and uncut from the beginning of this damn episode. So y'all ready for my raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Get ready for the Angry Cowboys fans raw and uncut.
I'm being keeping it real. They keep it real. That's real.
Cowboys Nation, there are so many narratives surrounding our Dallas Cowboys during this offseason. The one and only reason why I cannot stand the offseason, even as a fan before I started making content, I couldn't stand the offseason, especially during a contract year for our star players. A player that is looking to reset their respected markets. Dak Prescott has the potential of resetting the quarterback market, while CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons look to reset their positions market. Then you see these outlandish trade proposals for our star players. How many draft picks we could get for a top wide receiver or a quarterback or a defensive end? We can get a first rounder, a second rounder, and a third round draft pick in 2025 and a first round draft pick in 2026 for CeeDee Lamb. How about we get a third and a first round draft pick in 2025 and a first round draft pick in 2026 for Micah Parsons? We could get Shadur Sanders and we could get rid of Dak Prescott. We could get weapons for Trey Lance with the draft capital that we get from CD, Micah, and Dak. Oh my God, I've heard it all, Cowboys Nation. Then I see the post from some news outlets saying that the Detroit Lions need to trade for CeeDee Lamb. I see thumbnails talking about CeeDee Lamb being a trade candidate for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Talks of having 3 players at $10 million as opposed to having 1 player at $35, while at the same time, Cowboys Nation continues to complain about how cheap Jerry Jones is. Talking about how much money they spent during free agency. We're too cheap to go out and get Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley. How about we not trade our best players and just add to them so that we have a shot at doing more in the playoffs? Contrary to what Jerry Jones says, it's damn near impossible to do more with less. Go to your job and try to do more with less and see how hard it is. Go to your job and ask your employer to help you get more employees to better your situation, and accept it when your boss tells you to go suck it up and put in these 14-hour work days. I bet my bottom dollar you get pissed. You want to add to your team, though, Cowboys Nation. You want to establish your key players and then add to them so you can go on a Super Bowl run. You can't expect the team to get you a Super Bowl championship with just any set amount of players. You have to have championship caliber players in order to make it that far. I've been watching Cowboys content creators' lives, and content creators are starkly defending Dak Prescott from the minority of Cowboys Nation who want to see him gone. The logic is super crazy to me. I know that we've talked about this Dak Prescott situation ad nauseum, but I feel I have to continue to debate because I want Cowboys Nation to see how impactful he and his play can be for this offense, for this team, damn it. It's not just because I'm a fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I am a fan of great football. I know great football when I see it. I know complimentary football when I see it. I know great quarterback play when I see it as well. Like I am for Dak Prescott, I am for CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons as well. Get these contracts done. Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb are 2 contracts that could give this year's salary cap a little bit of relief so we can go shopping. Next year, I'll be here for Micah Parsons. I'll be right here on my soapbox for Micah Parsons to get his bag as well. As a fan, it's not my responsibility to want the owners to save money, and to keep it a buck, I feel they haven't signed anybody because they want to maximize their effort out of their players for minimal compensation. So they spend the articles and the press conferences to make it look as if the player is being the reason why we can't get better. The sad thing is, Cowboys Nation actually believes this crap. I watched Law Nations live, and a caller hit the nail on the head when he said some fans are brainwashed by the 4 and 3 letter networks. For the longest time, that's all we had when it came to keeping up with the Dallas Cowboys. People who didn't live in the DFW had to rely on those networks in order to know what was going on with our Cowboys. Now, we have all these super dope content creators who love nothing more than to bring their perspective along with facts about the Dallas Cowboys. We don't have to continue to drink the Kool-Aid that was given to us by the 4 and 3 letter networks, guys. We have options. We don't have to remain ignorant to the facts anymore. We can see the facts in black and white. We can see contract situations in black and white now. We have content creators that will keep you on the right path when it comes to our Dallas Cowboys. If you choose to continue to take what the 4 and 3 letter networks say is gospel, you have submitted to willful ignorance. You have the opportunity to know the real Cowboys Nation. You have the red pill in your possession. It's up to you to take it. I swear, Cowboys Nation, EA Sports needs to make a football game that brings the ins and outs of being an owner to the game. I mean, I know they have the franchise mode in Madden, but I want something to where you are making the tough decisions and letting the players go and see how it affects your team. Call the game EA's NFL GMs or something. I also feel that what separates a casual fan from a diehard fans do the work to have the knowledge of how the front office works. They do the work. They watch the videos if they don't know how the salary cap goes. Casual fans may watch 8 out of 17 games and only watch the highlights from YouTube, but act like they have this plethora of knowledge. You hit them with stats, and they make it into a negative. Oh, these Dak fans try to throw stats in your face. What about the 2-5 stat in the playoffs? They're quick to bring that record up, but let's dissect that record a little bit. They talk about the 5 losses that we have, and they never talk about the wins that we have. When those wins come up, they minimize them by saying Tom Brady was old, or they just don't bring up the Seattle game. They don't talk about the Packers game where the offense had us up, and then at the end of the game, the defense gave it up and we lost said game. They don't talk about that. They only bring up the games where Dak Prescott threw interceptions and we ended up losing the game. They don't talk about the fact that we've been to the playoffs 7 out of 9 seasons while Dak has been under center, because no matter what the 4 and 3 letter networks tell you, the regular season is as important as the playoffs. You can't slack off in the regular season because you won't make it to said playoffs. You can't slack off in the playoffs because you will be sent home. So this whole take that the Dallas Cowboys don't matter until the playoffs is a load of crap brought to you by the 4 and 3 letter networks, and casual fans eat it up. These anti-Dak fans will go to anyone's channel or their page and fill their comment sections with their emotions, their expectations not for the team, but for Dak Prescott individually. Then when Dak has an outstanding year, he is responsible for making everybody else have that same type of season. When he doesn't, we should get rid of him and start with an unproven player, leaving the playoffs up in the air. I don't know about you, but I would rather go with the proven commodity as opposed to the unproven. But I swear, this side of Cowboys Nation seems so entitled. If you were born before 1996, you don't have a dynasty to speak about. Yes, the Dallas Cowboys have 5 Super Bowl victories, but if you were born after 1996, how can you be used to winning in the postseason? According to StatMuse.com, the Dallas Cowboys are actually 5-13 in the postseason since 1996. So to say that we're a winning organization, that's a little misleading. We are dogs, absolute dogs in the regular season. We're missing in the postseason. We can't go with how Jerry ran this team and won multiple Super Bowls. We only won one Super Bowl during the salary cap era. We won that Super Bowl because of continuity. We added a couple of pieces to the dogs we already had, but for the most part, the dogs were a part of the Super Bowl winning teams before the salary cap was introduced. Since the cap has been in the league, the Dallas Cowboys only have one Super Bowl. They have not shown that they can get it done as a front office, let alone the players on the field. I don't hear too much about this, though. All I hear about is how Dak can't get it done. One thing I feel is super important to a team, and that is continuity when it comes to the key players on said team. The camaraderie between players on the team. How do you get that when we can't keep a player for multiple years due to impatience? How do you do that when you don't want to pay your key players and allow them to walk in free agency? Can you imagine what the Dallas Cowboys would have been if Jerry forked over the $20 million to keep Amari Cooper? They should have got rid of Dak after 4 years. Do y'all realize that continuity and cohesion is why Tom Brady stuck with the Buccaneers that second try when the Dallas Cowboys eliminated them from playoff contention? They kept the same team because they knew they had a Super Bowl winning team. Shit, they won the Super Bowl the year prior. So instead of having to do more with less, the Dallas Cowboys should sign their key players and get more. Do more with more, Jerry. So the object is not to blow your team up. The object should be to recognize your key players and to add to them. This is what the Philadelphia Eagles did when they went to the Super Bowl. This is what the Los Angeles Rams did the year they won the Super Bowl. This is what the San Francisco 49ers did and made it to 2 NFC championship games and then the Super Bowl. You can't just get rid of an all-pro player because he's been on the team for too long. If the all-pro player is playing lights out and bringing all-pro play to the team, there is no way you should be getting rid of him. How can some fix their face to say get rid of any all-pro is beyond me. On top of that, this team currently has 8 all-pros. That leaves 44 other players who have to step their game up to contribute to the overall level of play. That's not just on the quarterback. That's on the individual players on the Dallas Cowboys. In the comment section, I read that Dak Prescott can't read defenses. Not from what I witnessed, and I just watched the 2023 highlights as recent as 2 hours ago. I also watched Dak Prescott's highlights for his entire career. There were so many times where he was on point or threading the needle to one of his receivers. These fans don't seem to understand that it is a defensive coordinator's job to confuse the starting quarterback. They may line up in a single high look pre-snap, but at the end of it, they'll be in a cover 3 or vice versa. They may show man on one side of the field and zone on the other side to confuse the quarterback. They may show blitz to bluff and then fall back into coverage. It's not the fact of Dak Prescott not being able to read defenses. It's up to the defensive coordinator to disguise his defense and to confuse the quarterback. Some defensive coordinators can do that better than others. But speaking of defense, I remember watching a short from Warren Sapp saying that the defense doesn't win championships. As much as I respect Sapp and what he's brought to the game of football, I'd have to disagree with you, bro. I would say that the offense gets you to the playoffs. The defense in the running game wins championships. During the regular season, teams seem to air the ball out. Those long down the field passes, those one-play touchdowns like you see in Madden. When those teams get to the playoffs, you see the teams who have a great defense and a threat in the running game get further. San Francisco, Baltimore, Green Bay, Kansas City, Detroit. These teams who relied on the pass with a shaky defense, they didn't make it out of the first round, i.e. the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles, Pittsburgh Steelers, or the Cleveland Browns. I have this Dak Prescott debate because I know a great player when I see one. I'm not blinded by what Stephen A. and the 4 and 3 letter networks tell me. I see this man can get it done if we were giving him the right pieces to work with. Other than Amari Cooper and Brendan Cooks, who has Jerry Jones acquired to form around the quarterback? Please name them. Please name them. Put your answers down in the comment section. It's been a win with what we draft type of ordeal in Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys seem to be the only team who operates like this, and it pisses me off to no end. People say that the Dallas Cowboys draft well. What good is it if we draft well if you don't want to pay the players that we drafted? We want to drag them through the mud when it's time for them to get their money. We draft good players, help them become great, franchise tag them, and then let them go because we don't want to pay for them and what they're worth. Then you have some Cowboys fans in Cowboys Nation in Jerry Jones's corner of all people saying that these players shouldn't be getting paid. That makes zero sense to me, Cowboys Nation. It's as if Jerry Jones is paying their rent or something. I figured you would want to retain your all-pro players and work from there. The Dallas Cowboys front office would rather have their players hanging in limbo. It's a sad scene, and it makes me wonder why any college prospect would want to even come and play for America's team. But anyway, Cowboys Nation and Angry Cowboys fans, I had to come on here and give my raw and uncut when it comes to the leader of our team in Dak Prescott and the team as a whole. I know I haven't gone live in a few minutes, and I'm debating if I should go live to talk about this a little further. I want to get the perspective of my Angry Cowboys fan family because I value what y'all say, and I love reading your comments. So let me know in the comments section if you want me to go live to talk about this a little bit more. But this has been your boy, the Angry Cowboys fan. What do you feel about the current state of the Dallas Cowboys? Do you feel that we should get these deals done so we can focus more on the year and not the players' pockets? Let's have an adult conversation in the comment section. If you're digging the channel and want to help get this content out to even more Dallas Cowboy fans, drop a like on the video and share this content with your friends who are Cowboys fans. If you are DC for life and want to help the channel reach its goal of 10,000 subscribers before the start of the regular season, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you can be notified whenever I go live, release a video, or a podcast episode. Cowboys Nation, I'm in the business of wanting these players to get the money they deserve. I will advocate for each player that has that raw on the field to get the money that they earned. If you made an all-pro team, you deserve every penny that's coming your way, with or without the Dallas Cowboys. This has been your boy, the Angry Cowboys fan, and I'm out.